Hi, I'm Sarah Waddell. I am a representative and member of Ellafi Federal Credit Union. Part of our mission at Ellafi is to help support women-owned businesses, and we plan to feature these businesses in a video series. So today we have with us Tahnesha Perkins of Perkins Transport, and she's going to share with us a little bit about her journey with her business and Ellafi. So, Tahnesha, hi.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Perkins Transport. How did it get started?
So, Perkins Transport started basically out of necessity. I have a son who is on the spectrum. He was diagnosed with autism, and for a large portion of his life, I was his driver. And then there was a period of time where I decided to give him a little independence. Some people get cell phones, other kids get rides to school on their own. And so I worked with the district and found a company that would transport him to and from school, but there ended up being some lapses in communication, reliability, things of that nature. So I took a job at that company and became his driver for 2 years, and again worked closely with the school district and decided, I wonder how this would work if I would do this on my own. I had been approached by a parent at one point who was interested in having her child transported for after school activities. And it got me thinking even more, why not start a business? And I reached out to the district, and they were wonderful in helping me figure out financially how to structure a business like this and how to get in, because it is loaded with other larger companies, and they were instrumental in helping me design an entryway, if you will, into the industry. And within a few months, Perkins Transport LLC came to birth.
Okay, wow. So you basically took your position as a mom and transporting it and turned it into a career path for yourself, and still had the benefit of helping your son along his journey. And so you created the company.
Yes.
And what did you need to make that happen?
Well, first I needed insurance because that's a big thing when you transport children, and that was a large piece of it. So doing a lot of research, talking to other companies was big. I also needed to know where to start financially. I'm a small business owner starting in. How am I competitive? I'm still a mom, but I'm also still a driver, a business owner. So I needed to know where to start financially, and then just having conversations again with the district, trying to figure out, which families would work best for myself or for my schedule.
Yeah.
And so just again, a lot of research, a lot of asking questions.
Okay.
And then thankfully, like I said, the district was wonderful in working with me.
So when did you take that and then come to Ellafi for some additional advice and help to get your business launched and flourishing?
So once I had an idea of what I needed to get started, I noticed that what was once Seasons Federal Credit Union had become Ellafi. And we had been members of Seasons for over 10 years. And I liked the mission statement that I saw on the website. It was about empowering women. It was about promoting financial intelligence. And I thought to myself, as a starting owner, this would probably be the bank to reach out with first. And I had good experiences with Seasons in the past. And I knew that work ethic had carried over. So I applied for a loan, and one of the loan officers, Kristen Jensen, reached out to me, and after a process, it became a reality.
Yeah, so part of that process, I believe, was you had to really formalize a business plan. That's a really important part of applying for a loan with any financial institution. So
Yes.
what was that process like for you?
That process was interesting. I had never written a business plan before. And a lot of times I feel you have this idea of starting a business, but you never really sit down and plan things out, even if you have the financials on hand. And when it was brought to my attention I needed a business plan, that's when I had to force myself to sit down and really think about, why am I doing this? Where do I want to see myself in 5 years? And how can it not only benefit myself and my family, but the community as well? And so I did probably what any individual would do and did a Google search to figure out what was necessary to create a business plan. And I went from there. There's a lot of information out there, and I really had to tailor it down to what I could envision my business being. And it took a couple days. It took about 4 or 5 days to write it from beginning to end, but I put it together and it was a success.
Yeah. So what was that process like of once you reached out to Kristen and started to apply for the loan? Did it take a long time? Did you have to go back and do more research, or was it fairly seamless? How was that?
Initially, it was, I had to do a little bit more research, especially with the numbers. Being in the transportation business and you're transporting school children, it can get a little tricky, especially when you're dealing with insurance and things of that nature. So I had to go back and forth with the numbers a little bit, but as far as the application process and communication, it was seamless.
Great.
Kristen was wonderful. She answered all of my questions because I had many, and I was able to get through the entire process, and it was successful.
Great. So you applied for the loan. You got the business loan. That was for the use to purchase a car, I believe.
Yes, and initially it was for the car and additional expenses, but I'm a startup company. So the request had to be modified, and I changed it to just a vehicle loan to start off with, which was actually the better option anyway. It was a smaller amount to pay back. You don't necessarily want to end up in the red in your first couple of years. And because I went with the business vehicle loan, I've been able to stay in the black for the first year, so that's good.
Good, that's great. So now, in addition to transporting your son to school through your business, you also are supporting other members in the community throughout the summer and looking to continue to expand your business. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Right. So for the most part, I transport special needs students. Right now, I work with the Region 17 school district, and that's been going really well. I transport 2 students. The goal is to expand to other school districts as well. But also, as far as serving the community, there are seniors, a lot of senior centers out there that may or may not have reliable transportation. That's something that I would like to consider expanding into. And even daycare opportunities. Many times parents find themselves in a bind because they cannot transport their kids either to daycare or from daycare home. So working with different centers in my residence is also a goal that hopefully I'll be able to achieve and assisting me into going the business alone.
Yeah, that sounds great. So you've really found opportunities to grow and expand your business in the long term. What are the benefits to individuals when they hire a private transportation business like yours?
I find that trust is a big thing, especially when you're dealing with parents and school officials. A lot of times, larger companies, they take on many, a larger group of personnel, things of that nature. And it's hard to make sure that level of communication, that level of reliability is maintained. But when you hire a smaller business, that work ethic is easily carried over. So you have a person like myself who enjoys communication and trust when dealing with my own son and school officials. And so that is definitely what's going to carry over when I'm transporting someone else's children. And that puts a parent in a much safer space, knowing that who they're entrusting their child to is someone that's trustworthy.
Yeah.
So
That's great. So parents, when they are thinking about hiring you for your services, your communication and contact with them on a regular basis is really important. So I imagine there's kind of an interview process that happens between both parties when you're initially getting involved, right?
Yes. There's a form that they fill out with contact information, and then I follow up with a telephone call just to kind of introduce myself, let them know that perhaps my son might be joining me. Many times he does, just to make them aware of that. But to also get to know them, their child, if their child has any special needs in the car or any special support needs. That way I know how to make the experience much more comfortable for the child, and the parent knows that I'm fully aware of what can and can't and may not happen and things of that nature, and they feel at ease as well.
That's great. So if a local school or senior center or parent or caregiver has a need, how would they reach out to you? Where do they find you?
Well, I drive around a lot. I've actually gotten a couple phone calls because of people seeing my car on the road. I do have a website that's in progress, but the website too, I have a phone number and an email address. So there's various ways to contact me. So
great. We'll be sure to put that in the links in this video. And so we thank you so much for your time. We're really happy to have you be a member of Ellafi and definitely part of our small business program. And we look forward to growing with you. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Nice.